Welcome to base part first for next point from the nervous system in vertebrates. So you are going to study the comparative anatomy of nervous system, and nervous system can be divided into three major parts: central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, and autonomous nervous system. So the brain you are studying, so that is the part of central nervous system. And central nervous system is divided into three main parts. That is forebrain, midbrain, and the third, that is hindbrain. So likewise, so that is the general pattern in all vertebrates. The brain can be studied under these three main headings. That is forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. And the scientific name has given to these three parts. So that is forebrain is called as prosencephalon. While the midbrain is treated as a mesencephalon. And third part, so that is hindbrain, called as rhombencephalon. So likewise, so in these three main headings, all the different vertebrate, the 5 different classes found in vertebrate, the brain can be studied under these three main headings. And the forebrain includes olfactory lobes, you can say the olfactory peduncle, olfactory lobes, and olfactory sacs. So combinedly treated as a olfactory lobes. And cerebrum, that is called as a two cerebral hemispheres combinedly forming a cerebrum. Then, so here I am showing you, so this may be the particular, this may be the olfactory lobes, and this may be the olfactory sacs. So this part is a, you can say here, so this is particularly so here there will be the optic lobes, you can say. Here is so the diagram which is showing the different parts of these three main brain parts. So here this is, you can say, combinedly called as a olfactory lobes. So this is olfactory peduncle, olfactory lobes, olfactory sacs, combinedly treated as a olfactory lobes. While next part, that is cerebrum or cerebral hemisphere. So these two hemispheres combinedly treated as a cerebrum. Combinedly called as a cerebrum. So these are the parts, and here is the diencephalon. That is the third most part of the forebrain. And the functions of olfactory lobes. The olfactory lobes are concerned with sense of smell. The olfactory lobes are concerned with sense of smell. So you have to keep in mind the all functions in different vertebrates are same. So the function will not get changed in different vertebrates. So you are going to study the comparative anatomy. And while studying the comparative anatomy, the structure of the particular organ system will get changed, somewhat larger, somewhat rudimentary. But the particular function of the particular part, so that will be remains as it is. The same, if you went in America, if you go to Japan, so everywhere the function of this particular brain part is become similar. So here the cerebral hemisphere, or you can say the cerebrum, two parts or two halves are combinedly treated as a cerebral hemispheres, and these combinedly called as a cerebrum. The function of this cerebrum, so that is concerned with seat of intelligence, emotions, willpower, coordination, and controlling voluntary activities of the body. So see, very important function are attributed to the cerebral hemisphere. The seat of intelligence. The intelligence is depends on the development of the cerebral hemisphere in each and every individual and in each and every animal. So the seat of intelligence, emotions. So your emotions are also depends on the cerebral hemisphere. एखाद्याने तुम्हाला बोललं काहीतरी तर लगेच तुम्ही तोंड वाकडे करून बसता. So that is a particular type of emotions. So that emotions are depends on this. Emotions, willpower, इच्छा शक्ति. If you have no willpower, nothing will happen. Nothing is possible. So all is impossible. So likewise here, the willpower is also important. Coordination. So that will coordinate, or that particular individual will coordinate with the other. म्हणजे बऱ्याचशा ठिकाणी काही लोक मिळतं जुळतं घेत नाही. पुढच्या माणसाच्या काही जर बोलणं असतं त्याला सहमत होत नाही. So that is one type of coordination. But here the coordination is concerned with the all body parts. The all body parts will correlate or coordinate with each other. So that is why coordination and voluntary activities of the body. So whatever the ऐच्छिक क्रिया जे आपल्या बॉडीतल्या आहेत इच्छेनुसार घडणाऱ्या, so all the voluntary activities are depends on this. So there are several activities, voluntary activities. So likewise here, and the diencephalon, you know, the diencephalon is very important organ of the brain. So that will control the brain temperature. The brain temperature will under the control of diencephalon. बऱ्याच वेळेला आपल्याला काही व्यक्ती डोक्याला ताप आलेला असतो. हे जो ताप आहे तो ताप डोक्याला मोठ्या अगदी भास्त एवढा ताप आलेला असतो. And that brain temperature cannot control, and finally that death may occur due to the higher temperature in the brain. So that maintenance is depends on this particular. The function of this diencephalon is controlling brain temperature. Then next that is midbrain. So midbrain, the optic lobes, and the crura cerebri. So these are the crura cerebri. So this crura cerebri is concerned with a muscle band, and that joins connects the forebrain with the midbrain with the hindbrain. So the union or keeping in proper position the particular brain part is concerned. So that is why crura cerebri is the muscle band which connects and keep intact the different brain parts, that is forebrain connects with the midbrain and midbrain connects with the hindbrain. And that's why the brain is found intact and at a proper position in a brain box. Otherwise, forebrain मागे इथे कुठेतरी hindbrainच्या जागी आला असता, midbrain कुठेतरी एका कोपऱ्यात जाऊन बसला असता. So likewise, this position of fore, mid and hindbrain will keeping intact and proper found in the brain box, that is depends on the crura cerebri. Then optic lobes, the optic lobes are concerned with the sense of sight, vision. हे दिसण्याची क्रिया जी आहे दृष्टी, so that is depends on the optic lobes. Then these two, then at the ventral side of this, this is the dorsal side of the brain. The ventral side of this, so there will be here the optic chiasma. The nerve crossing, optic chiasma. Then here is the infundibulum. And lastly here, so there is a pituitary body. That is the hypophysis. Pituitary body, that is hypophysis. So all these parts are found in the midbrain region at its ventral side of the brain. By dorsal side we can't see the particular part. So at its ventral side, the optic chiasma are the crossing of the nerves which are connected to the eye and giving the sensation of the vision from the optic lobes to the eyeball. So likewise the infundibulum is also related part in the ventral side of the brain, and attached to the particular infundibulum there is a pituitary body or hypophysis. And the hypophysis is a very important organ of the body, very important brain organ of the body. The pituitary body is concerned with controlling all endocrine gland secretions. All endocrine glands are under control of pituitary body. And the pituitary body is controlling all hormonal secretions of the body of different parts of the body. आपल्या बॉडीमध्ये असणाऱ्या सगळ्या पार्ट्स मधून सिक्रेट होणारे जे हार्मोन्स आहेत ते हार्मोन्स या ग्लँडच्या आदेशाशिवाय तयार होत नाही. इवन दो द adrenal gland secreting adrenaline hormone, for example, but that adrenaline hormone secretion depends on the pituitary gland. If the pituitary gland is not secreting the GnRH factor, if it is not releasing by the pituitary gland, the adrenaline is not secreted by the adrenal gland. So likewise here. So these are the functions of the pituitary body. And last that is, here is, you can say the cerebellum. Cerebellum is the hindmost part of the brain, or you can say the hindbrain parts. Then you can say the medulla oblongata. So these are the two parts And last one is the spinal cord. You can say the spinal cord. So these are the three parts of hindbrain or rodencephalon. So here the cerebellum is also having a very important function. So that is controlling equilibrium or controlling body balance. You know, the body balance is very important. Body balance, or you can say the equilibrium. It is treated as a equilibrium. So controlling body balance depends on the cerebellum, and while the medulla oblongata as having the different function. You know that it controls all involuntary activities of the body. All involuntary activities. We cannot control that by our mind or that animal body. So the medulla oblongata controlling involuntary activities of the body. For example, respiration and circulation. The respiration we can't stop a longer period. Circulation we can't stop circulation in the body. If the circulation gets stopped, the animal will die. The death may occur. So likewise here, to avoid that, the particular part is well in brain. It is important. So medulla oblongata controlling involuntary activities of the body, and last part, that is the spinal cord. The spinal cord is concerned with carrying impulses from brain to the different body parts and from different body parts to the brain. So that is the receiving center, or you can say the receiving organ of the body. So this is about the general structure of the brain. So already you have studied. In last lecture I have discussed about the brain of Scoliodon or fishes. So today there will be the brain of amphibians. So the brain of frog, you can say the example of amphibian, that is a frog, Rana tigrina. It shows many contrasts from that of the dog fishes or Scoliodon fishes. Smaller olfactory lobes and larger optic lobes. The olfactory lobes are become smaller in case of frog, and larger optic lobes are formed. So that is a main structure development. And corpus callosum, the floor of cerebrum, receives the greater number of sensory fibers, and two cerebral hemispheres show greater development in accordance to the fishes. So this development, cerebral hemisphere development according to the fishes, it shows the greater development than that of the fishes. Then complex activities of locomotion, hibernation and breeding, that is depends on the cerebral hemisphere. You know, the amphibian is found in the water medium as well as on land. So it is treated as a amphibian. Amphibian म्हणजे काय? उभयचर प्राणी. In both media, in both habitat, so they are spending their life. So they may got in a particular aquatic medium or living in aquatic medium, as well as they are also found on terrestrial mode of life or on the ground. So that is because of the development of the cerebral hemispheres. You know, the brain part, that is cerebral hemisphere in the amphibian or frog, if it is not well developed, so when the particular frog is going to hibernation period, you know the hibernation. So hibernation, that is nothing but winter sleep. During winter season, the frog, they are hiding under the mud or going inside the mud and taking a winter sleep. There is no movement, nothing. And in summer season, so they will show the estivation. You know the estivation, that is summer sleep. During the summer season, so they will hide themselves under the mud and being a stagnant in the mud. They will not leave the place, so where they are hiding. So full season they are there, and during the rainy season or in monsoon season, so they will come up. And during the first rainy season, you know, बऱ्याच ठिकाणी आपल्या आजूबाजूला पाऊस पहिला पडल्यानंतर नाल्यामध्ये ओढ्यामध्ये पाणी भरपूर आलेलं असतं आणि त्या पाण्याच्या कडेला तुम्हाला पिवळी बेडकं दिसतात, सोनेरी रंगाची बेडकं दिसतात. मग आपल्याला काय वाटतं की पावसाबरोबर ती आकाशातून पडली. बट दॅट इज नॉट coming by the or along with the rain. So they are coming up from the mud. हे चिखलातून ते वर आलेले असतात आणि बरेच दिवस चिखलात असल्यामुळे त्यांचा कलर हा सोनेरी रंगात झाले असतो. स्किन पिगमेंटेशन विल बी लॉस्ट. स्किन मध्ये असणारं त्यांचं जे पिगमेंटेशन आहे, कलरचं पिगमेंटेशन, ते लॉस्ट झालेलं असतं. अँड वेन दे आर फाउंड on the ground for a period of 1 month, the original pigmentation or original color of that frog will becomes retained or regain again. So likewise here. So that is particularly the development of cerebral hemisphere. Optic lobes are probably dominant coordinating centers in the brain of amphibians. The poor development of cerebellum and medulla is also small pineal body and are present in all amphibians. So these are the different structures so which are found in brain of amphibian, and that is different than that of particular fishes. फिशेस पेक्षा वेगळी फीचर्स हे अशा प्रकारचे आहेत. सो देर इज नो मोर डिफरन्स इन अ पर्टिक्युलर ब्रेन ऑफ फिशेस अँड ब्रेन ऑफ amphibian. So in next lecture we will see the brain of reptile. So today it's enough for you can say this lecture is brain of amphibians. Okay.